because now,
hey, welcome back to the Odd Rod Garage. Today we have a lot of stuff ahead of us. And it's a lot of stuff that doesn't show real big. You know, last week we put the front clip on, we put the bed on, it makes it look like a truck again. But there's still all those little details that you have to do that actually make the truck run. Today we're going to be working with wiring. Without wiring, nothing's going to happen. Another thing Tommy's going to be doing is the fuel system. Guess what? Without gas getting to the engine, no run. We're actually going to be messing with some of the body. There are some dents and things we're going to try and get out a little bit. We call it sledgehammer body work. We use a rubber mallet a lot of times just to try and get a few of the little dents and dings out to make it a little straighter, a little nicer. We want to preserve the paint, so we don't want to do any body work on it. So anyway, it'll be a good day. Come along for the ride. On sledgehammer body work, basically there's a couple of things you need to worry about. One is a thing called pickling. You notice a pickle has a whole bunch of warts and bumps on it, and if you get too much pressure coming on the outside or coming towards the outside of the car in one specific point, it's going to make a little pimple, or they call it pickling. So to reduce that, we lay a piece of wood in there and we put our pressure against the back of the wood and try and push the wood so it doesn't make those marks. Now sometimes when you do that, because all of the pressure is dissipated over such a large area, you can't get enough pressure to move what you need to move. So we might end up having a smaller piece of wood here in a minute. But anyway, he's going to be pushing like crazy from the inside to try and push this panel out. And I'm going to be relieving some tension across here with the rubber mallet, because this is a little flattened off here. The other side's worse. We may not be able to get any of this out, and I'll live with that. Or you'll live with that. But we're going to give it a shot right now. Way better. Not perfect. Not perfect at all. Way better. On that belt line. Again. Let's do this again. Alright. Alright. It's going to be first with your foot. Just it. Luckily, Tommy is very good at the limbo.
what's up? All right, so I want to show you the computer bracket. This actually started out as a flat piece of metal. This flap here goes just like that. Zoink. So what I did was I cut the bottom of this out, and that's where the wiring goes. Obviously I'm gonna have to cut a relief in here so the wiring will go slip in there. She's cleaned up, it's ready for paint. I'll shoot it and we'll put it in there, and here's our relief for the wire for the box goes through here, and it'll be super awesome. Hello everybody, Odd Rod Garage here, and I've worked way far ahead of you guys. I want to show you what I've been doing today. Today we've been doing all the ECM wiring. Here's the fuse box. This is the bulkhead for the computer. So this side is all together. We have our injectors. Back here is 3 grounds. Back here on the back of the head. Zoink. This big old long guy here, that is our O2 sensor. Obviously we have the O2 sensors for that type of connection there. This is a drive-by wire. We have to put our throttle plate on. Here's all of our coil packs, all of our injectors. We have our NOx sensor here. Here's our map sensor here. Right there is our cam sensor, right there. And then over here is the oil pressure sending unit. We're gonna have to change that because their harness is a different style. No biggie. So behind the starter, here's our big battery cable. Here's our starter trigger. And our crank sensors behind the starter. That's why before you put the starter in, you always want to put your crank sensor in, click it in first. Relax time. Oh, I mean, hang on. Whee! This morning, I went ahead and took the sending unit out. And I'll show you what I did. I got pretty clever with it. Because fuel injection, so you have to have a feed and a return. So, here is our pickup. Actually made that. I'm using the 3/8 line for the feed and the 5/16 for a return. So there's that. So we have our feed and return. I had a bracket, I made a bracket underneath the cab here. I'll show you it. And this bracket right here, so lines come out of the bottom of the cab, and they go like this, zoop, into the frame rail here. That's as far as I've gotten today. All right, so today we got a lot of stuff done. Electrical, fuel, I'll get into that here in a second. But like Pete said, all this stuff has to be in there to make it work. It can look pretty all day long, but if it doesn't run, it don't help you. So, we did some intricate fuel lines today. We plugged the ECM, the wiring harness, and here's the ECM right here. We made a little bracket for that. And what else did we do?
Yeah, we got a little bit of body work done on the truck. We pulled out a few dents like we were saying we're going to do. We got a lot done today. This is the end of Wednesday for us on filming, but over the next couple of days we'll get some more filming done, and this will probably be Friday's video. We want to remind you to subscribe to the channel, share the video, give us a comment, and give us a like. And remember, we only have about a week and a half until we're giving this girl away, but when you see this video, it's only going to be a week away. So make sure you get all of your friends and family to go ahead and enter for the drawing. Also remember, this morning, hopefully you guys all watched on Wildcard Wednesday, we disclosed that our next build is a 1969 Chevy K5 Blazer that we're doing as a half cab, and we're doing two-wheel drive with the LS 4L60 and putting it down on the ground. Those cars are worth stupid money now, and I don't know why. They're cool, but I mean, they just had one at Barrett Jackson sell for $400,000. That's insane. But we're going to give a K5 Blazer away, 1969. So, and it looks like a pile of junk right now. And I sort of took a challenge from a friend of mine, John, and he said, that's a piece of garbage. Throw it away. Quit wasting your time. And that's exactly what Tommy and I like, is sort of the do-it-yourself in the backyard, a pile of junk. We don't have a ton of money. We like to take on a challenge, and this one's going to be a challenge. Everything we do, for the most part, you guys can do right at home. We're not special. We're not super talented. I am exceptionally good looking, and Tommy is fairly good looking. But other than that, we're just a couple of guys tinkering with stuff in the backyard. One of these days, hopefully, we'll have a little building here so that we can get out of the sun in the summer. But other than that, we don't have tons and tons of equipment. So, but we appreciate you guys coming, spending your time with us. Hopefully you enjoyed this. All right, I'm freezing to death here in Arizona. I know it sounds ridiculous to you guys, but it's like 50 degrees this morning, and I got a hoodie on, and I'm runny nose from the cold, and it gets ridiculous. I'm going to show you guys a secret little project I'm working on that will be added to the giveaway truck. I think it'll be really cool. Check it out. So I've been looking for a vintage motorcycle to put in the bed of the truck just as a showpiece, and I couldn't find one. So I've had this piece of junk laying in my backyard because I think it's so cool. It's an old bicycle, and I bought this pair of funky Springer forks for a bicycle a long time ago, and I have this old boat motor, so I plan on taking the boat motor apart, making a plate, bolting it into this area of the bicycle, building an aluminum tank, putting some tires on it so it looks like it would work, straightening out a few of the bent pieces on this really old bicycle, and putting it in the bed of the truck to make it look more like one of the old Whizzer bikes, or to make it look sort of like, like a moped or something. I know I shouldn't be spending the time on it, and I know it's sort of funky, but I think it's sort of going to be cool. Just a little prop in the bed of the truck. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. All right, Thursday morning. I know you guys can't tell the difference in TV land or internet land, but I did some buffing on the truck this morning. Try and get it finished up for today's video, apparently. Although today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, but you'll see it tomorrow. I guess you'll see it today. Anyway, Tommy, what do we got on the agenda today?
Oh, buttoning up all kinds of stuff. We're going to put the throttle pedal in it today and a little bit more wiring. We're not quite ready for the ECM yet. I want to pin out some stuff and make sure, and I'll show you how you can do that on your own. Yeah, just buttoning up a bunch of stuff. Fuel system, wheelhouses, front core support, fenders.
A whole bunch of little junk that you won't be able to hardly tell. But at the end of the day, we are going to push the truck out or get it out into the light. We'll do a walk around and show you how it buffed out. It buffed out pretty nice. I'm surprised. One funny thing is when you buff something out and make it shiny, all the little dents and dings show up. So it's got a few dents and dings, but you know what? If you're going to restore this truck and do new paint, you'll probably get a different bed. But if you're going to keep the original paint like I would do, then it gives it character. That's what we'll call it. So anyway, we'll get to it today, and at the end of the day, we'll wrap it up with a walk around the truck. All right, this morning I'm going to be doing a little bit of buffing on the truck and taking some taillights off, stuff like that. So pretty boring stuff. I'll jump cut it so it doesn't bore you to tears. These taillights are obviously very, very, very bleached out. That's what Arizona does to plastic. So I am going to get a set of taillight lenses for it. A buddy of mine, I think, has a nice set of used ones. I don't like the reproduction ones, but all right, let's see what she does. Well, that looks pretty cool. Try and get some more of this off. So one of the things you can do is you can take like 1,000 or 1,500 grit sandpaper and try and sand down some of this, and it won't hurt because you'll polish it out. So I'm going to see if I can find some, maybe get some of this off and make it a little easier for me. I don't want to burn down to a whole bunch of the black primer. All right, so you can see I sanded over here just a little bit and still need to buff it out. You can see what it used to look like here. The sun's really in my way right now, so hopefully I'll be able to zoom in and you'll be able to see it. But anyway, I'm going to do a little more scrubbing right here, then I'm going to buff out the whole bed.
definitely not the funnest thing to do, especially first thing in the morning. Alright guys, we had a pretty good idea we're going to have to do this, but let me show you. That line is scratched. I got to cut that corner out to relieve for the lines on the box. But measurement wise, this should be pretty good. I would just go ahead and cut that out, and hopefully it'll fit the first time. So here's a trick. You guys remember this old house? Long time ago. Anyway, with Bob Vila. What I learned watching that show is when you're working with the wood, and if you make a hard 90, it'll crack. So that's why I cut it like this, and then I'm going to take the paddle wheel and I'll back grind that a little bit as a curve, and it'll keep it from cracking. Morsies.
We're going to take this inner fender well, put it up inside there. We're going to get it bolted up so that when you drive through the mud puddles, it doesn't sling stuff all over you.
And no matter how you go about it, you have.
It is looking so sweet. Not necessarily a two-man.
And always remember, do not.
Be back.
Wiring is always hard to make pretty. Oh, I got that.
Is it filming?
Yeah.
All right, so real quick, I had a question from one of our subscribers and asked what size engine we're putting in this car. He knows it's an LS, but he didn't know, apparently I didn't say, it's a 5.3 liter. And he also asked the gear ratio in the rear end, and we hadn't even checked it. We don't have any idea in the world what it is. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you an easy way to tell what your gear ratio is in the rear end of your truck or car. And this is on a non-posi rear end, so it's just a one-legger. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to jack one side of the car up, leave one tire down, and you're going to bring one tire up like this right here. All right. Then you're going to rotate the tire, one full rotation, and you're going to count how many times the drive shaft turns. Once you've counted how many times the drive shaft turns, you're going to double that amount, and that is your gear ratio. So let's say that we turn the tire one rotation and the drive shaft turns 1.5 times. 1.5 times 2 is 3, so you have a 3-0. You'd have a 3-0 gear, okay? 3-to-1 ratio. If it turned 2 times, you would have 4-to-1. But you know, typically there's like 270s, 308s, 350, 355, 373, 411. There are numbers you get, so you can sort of guesstimate. Some of them are going to be close. You're going to have an idea. So we're going to do it real quick. I'm going to climb inside the bed. Tommy's going to count one full rotation on the tire. I'm going to count how many times it is in there. You're going to hear me calling it out because he's going to film himself counting, so we make sure he can count to 1. And then we're going to tell you what the gear ratio is for the truck. So let's go.
Yeah, don't hurt yourself getting in there. Oh, he's going to use the gate. Cheater.
Wah, wah. And it's really easy for us to do this when the bed's out, but otherwise you have to lay on the ground. And when you have it with a drive shaft hooked up, which we don't yet, you need to put the car into neutral. So make sure you block the tire so it won't roll, jack up one tire, put the transmission in neutral, and then you'll be able to spin it. All right, Tommy, we'll see if you can count to 1.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to use the valve stem as a reference, and theoretically one whole revolution would put the valve stem back in the same spot. So you ready to go there, Pete?
I'm ready.
Ish, something like that.
All right, so we are 1 3/4. So it's about a 373.
That's a good gear.
Yep, 373 is our gear ratio.
And for all you gearheads out there, a lot of your automatic cars are 373 gear, which is great for highway. It's a really good all-around gear. If you're drag racing, obviously it's a little too tall, but we're not drag racing today anyway.
373. So we're putting in a 5.3 with a 4L60 automatic transmission, 373 ring and pinion. So there's your answer.
Hi guys. So I'm sorry it's been a while. I just been a busy guy. Anyway, the wiring's almost completely done. So you saw this, the computer, the fuse box. We have our relay over here. Here's our power and whatever coming over here. We have our cables, hot, not. We have this is our charge wire out of the back of the alternator. Over here, this is the starter kicker. This is the kicker for the starter out of the truck. And the last thing I have to find is the key up out of the truck to energize the computer. But the problem is the tumblers, there's no key for the tumbler. So what I'm gonna have to do is get a little creative. Hi, me again. So don't laugh. I know a lot of you guys who have some of these old Chevys know exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of times, these tumblers will turn with a screwdriver. I kid a lot. Anyway, what I did was I took my voltmeter, my 2 leads, and plugged them into the 2 reds at the back of this turn signal switch. So when that meter says that means there's no circuit. Keys on. Oh, now I got a circuit. Start. Oh, we're still live. Keys off. On. Oh. Hang on, we lost something. Hang on. Alright guys, deductive reasoning. So what I did was I found my power to the ignition switch, I found the power that comes out of it, and then at the bulkhead I used my voltmeter to probe those at that bulkhead. I already knew where the power was coming in, I just didn't know where it was coming out. Check this out. You see that meter? So that is key on, and it doesn't go away in the start position, so that's the one we want. Yay!
All right. Well, it's not a finished product yet, but it's sure getting closer. As you can see, we did some buffing. We still got to do some finished buffing. We did some buffing on the old girl. We got a dent or a folded fender to get rid of back there. We're missing taillight lenses. They're on their way. And it's got its fair share of dents and dings, but it's original paint. This is your little walk around. Sorry about the sunlight there. This is Arizona. It was freezing this morning. Just let you see inside and see that this door actually opens. And those are some special handy dandy fuel lines that Tommy made. And we're getting ready to put some rubber in and a seat and get it cleaned up. Tell me what you think of the wheels and tires. I think they look pretty cool. There's Tomas right there. Tommy, why don't we pop the hood and show him all of the dazzle. Now there you go. Wheel wells in. LS installed 12 minutes ago. Just kidding. There's all the computerization. Nice little brakes. You see the wiring harness. So we got the battery tray in. So tomorrow we're going to be doing water pump, belts. Our radiator is not here yet, but here pretty quick we're going to try and fire this girl. We'll put on also the injection or the mass airflow and the throttle body. This thing is going to be killer. Get a fat guy and a skinny guy in here and you end up with some trouble. Well, that's it for Thursday. Today's Thursday, right? See? So I'll put the video together tonight and we will be airing this tomorrow morning. And we wanted to thank you guys for coming by like usual and spending your time with us. I think you can tell it's turning out pretty cool. Just a reminder, subscribe, like, share, send a comment, and if you feel like it, turn on notifications so you know when we post another one of our stupid videos. That being said, the thing's come along really cool. Make sure that you share this information with a friend and have them put your name in as a referral and you'll get an additional entry into the giveaway. And today is Thursday, but this video is airing Friday. We have 1 week left. That's all there is 1 week left until we pull a name out of the hat. So we really appreciate you guys coming by and spending time with us. Anyway, like usual, thanks for watching. Let's try that again. As usual, thanks for watching.